Hello, this is Tchapman500 and welcome to another project update video. Now before we get into all of the projects that I'm going to update you on, I want to let you know that I am streaming at random times on twitch.tv pretty frequently, but with the microphone off. So that's twitch.tv/Tchapman500. Oh, and I will not be streaming on the Sabbath. Anyways, let's get into the various projects that I've been working on. Starting, I guess, with the Tarina City Super Speedway, since that's running in the background here. As you can see, the infield is quite empty. So, I'm gonna be working on that. First, by working on the infield airport and all of the stuff there. So, that should make it seem quite a bit less empty than what it is currently. A lot of the other stuff I need to put in are the garage buildings, infield course geometry, and a few of the other structures that are to be on the infield. Also, I'm going to reconfigure the track so that the center line is 15 feet from the inside wall, so that this track is 4 miles in length according to NASCAR standards for track measurement. Now, most objects, like the grandstands, should technically fit both configurations, although you might notice something is up when the reconfiguration comes out if I don't upgrade the grandstands. I'm anticipating the real problem being the approach lights, which need to go over the racetrack. Plus, the airport's going to be elevated 20 feet above where most of the track is anyway, so there's that. Most of the outfield area can be left empty because of these grandstands hiding most of what would be behind it. So really, the only things I need to worry about would be the outfield, and even then, other than the approach lights, a good portion of that needs to be relatively empty as well, because we don't really want to put that much stuff right underneath the glide slope. And by the way, I still need to get this racetrack into Microsoft Flight Simulator X so that I can test to see which glide slope would be the safest. Hopefully it can be the standard 3-degree glide slope. A long time ago, I tested this with a 6-degree glide slope without the racetrack, and it turned out to be quite scary on the approach. Now, as for the Tcr Raceway, which is the 1/4 mile track, I've decided not to finish that one. So that mystery road course that I've shown in some previous videos, I will be working on that, but first I want to get Sandbox 2 worked on a bit more, as well as the physics update to Solar Lander worked on a bit more, which is proving to be quite a bit more difficult than I originally anticipated. Now, for Sandbox 2, I've recently resumed work on implementing the rendering system, and I'm going to have to re-implement a few other things for that track editor. But once I get to the point where I can show off some features that weren't shown off in the previous video, like, say, moving sections or adding and deleting sections, and maybe a few other things, that's when I'll post an update video for that. Right now I need to get it back up to where it was because of the new systems I'm implementing, which I found a bit difficult to try to implement. But that should all be sorted out now. For the Nascar Factor Mod, there are a few problems I've been running into. It has mostly to do with the differences in the G-motor engine between NASCAR Sim Racing and R-Factor. And it's mostly in the area of the tire definition files, which have a lot of variables in R-Factor that NASCAR Sim Racing just doesn't have. Now, when it comes to variables that NASCAR Sim Racing has that R-Factor doesn't have, well, those are actually just reworked in R-Factor mostly, and we don't really need those NASCAR Sim Racing variables. But there's a lot more in the tire files that make the two simulators incompatible with each other that I'm not exactly sure how to rectify with the NASCAR Factor Mod. And actually, I'm going to have to do quite a few tests in NASCAR Sim Racing to, say, get a lot of lap times in over a long run and see how that compares in the NASCAR Factor Mod before I can do anything definitive about the situation. By the way, I have completed the 2005 Nextel Cup car set for that mod. Now, for Solar Lander, the primary block for the physics update has to do with the Unity engine not cooperating with me whenever I try to implement a solution to the problem. So the problem right now is that when the vehicles are connected to each other using the Unity joint system, they fight each other over which position the other vehicle should be in because of the sheer distances from the origin that are involved. So the solution to this is to combine all of the connected vessels into a single vessel and simulate that, thereby ditching the Unity joint system. That hasn't worked out too well. Now, of course, this would be a whole lot easier if Unity gave me the option of double precision physics rather than single precision physics, but I don't have that option. And also the floating origin method is out of the question. Also, I have a project going on for the Orbiter Spaceflight Simulator, which is a joystick API to give Orbiter better joystick support. And I got it to the point where Orbiter at least recognizes the plugin. Now, as for the current project being pushed, that would have to be Sandbox 2. If for any reason, just to get it to the point where it was before I decided to overhaul the system. And the overhaul itself might have been a mistake, but I really can't turn back now. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you in the next video. This is T Chapman 500 signing off.